Hello, friends. Today's topic is very important. That is related with the urban sociology. It is a perspectives on urban network. Hmm. In our last discussion, we have discussed on ecological perspective of urban society, urban city, and this theory it is a conglomeration of the different perspectives how network actually developed and how it actually functioned in the urban areas. These are the point of the today's discussion. you know Urban sociology always stresses that cities are not autonomous entities with specific bodies and function, but it serves rather as support and expression of human activity. In this sense, urban space bears a greater resemblance to an agglomeration composed of many distinct networks that includes economic networks, social networks, political networks, technical networks, and infrastructural networks, which intersect at a given point of time and providing urban space with its own specificity. What differentiates one space from another is a particular setup of each network. This in turn shapes the arrangement of various entities and function within the network. Network theory can make to analyze the urban and city networks. Cities are linked by considerable diversity of networks, which themselves differ in terms of type, scale, structure, but all of which interconnected in urban space. This networking of the major region of the world is also reflected in far-reaching reconfiguration of metropolitan space throughout the world. Historical and contemporary analysis of urban networks help to uncover the complex process that has been involved in co-construction of cities and networks. This multi-level social structure that goes from local to global, and questions such as its power, its forms, its place, its spatial organization of increasingly complex economy and society. This urban network approach helped to redefine the city as well as its cohesion and boundaries to position urban development in global networks, to investigate the levels of spatial and social organization and how this social organization interact and identify the implication of network as a source of power for the cities and organization as well as the individual. If you come to the important issue of types of network in the cities, we came to know that behavior of individuals, the organization of networks, and dynamic of space are based on network of varying nature of driven by actors who often belong to the several networks. For social and organizational network, this adjustment can take the form of cooperation, competition, exclusion, depending on strategic investment of actor in the network on how power is organized, that is, how power is organized within single network or between multiple networks. This consideration raise the need to identify the multiplicity and structure of networks that connect the cities. Next, come to the question of the scale of network. In that case, the position of city it depends on the place of individuals, human, economic, or social entities within the various specialized networks where they interact by exchanging or sharing. The integration of individual in network with different geographical scales lead to dissemination and exchange, which will in turn influence city by positioning it at the local level insofar the network is local, or alternatively position it within the regional, national, or international network of other cities. Regardless whether the size of this network is small or not, such integration changes the organization of the urban space, and which is very important, and affecting the mobility, technical networks, and territorial organization. Next, come to the how this network connected with each other. In the words of Manuel Catswell, the space of flows integrate different networks that are interconnected in several places. Places are seen as spaces made up of flows and locations whose structure, the level of performance, and innovation dynamics have bearing on the organization of the longest range network and distant location. Conversely, at the local scale, the territorial boundaries of interaction between the different networks transform the organization of the city, its internal location, and its urban space. The city is not only viewed as an aggregation of multiple networks, but also interconnection node between the networks.